Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about screening for recombinants. In the previous class we have seen that what are the tools essential for recombinant technology, then how these rDNA or recombinant DNA will be inserted in the host. After inserting the rDNA into the host, it is essential to follow how these rDNA molecules are being inside the host. This study is called screening for recombinant. That means after the introduction of rDNA into a host cell, it is essential to identify those cells which have received the rDNA molecule. This process is called screening. So screening is nothing but after rDNA is introduced into the host cell, we should follow, we should observe it. So this is called screening for recombinants. The vector means the plasmid, or the foreign DNA, that means gene of interest, present in the recombinant cells expresses the characters, while the non-recombinants do not express the characters or trait. For this, some of the methods are used, and one such method is called blue-white selection method that we can see next. What is blue-white colony selection method or insertional inactivation? We can, in order to understand that, we should see once. It is a powerful method used for screening of recombinant plasmid. In this method, a reporter gene called LAC-Z is inserted in the vector. That means in the plasmid, we have to cut with the restriction endonuclease. We can add the gene of interest. Along with the gene of interest, we can also add a specialized reporter genes called LAC-Z gene. What is the importance of this LAC-Z gene? This gene, the LAC-Z gene, encode the enzyme beta-galactosidase. That means LAC-Z can able to produce an enzyme called beta-galactosidase. Okay, sir. What is the importance of beta-galactosidase? If LAC-Z is present inside the plasmid, which can able to produce beta-galactosidase, then what will happen? And contains several recognization site for restriction enzyme as well. Which one? This LAC encode enzyme beta-galactosidase, as well as they can able to produce as many number of restriction enzyme sites. Okay, what will happen to the beta-galactosidase? This beta-galactosidase will break the synthetic substrates called XGAL. What will happen if the synthetic material XGAL is break down? Then it will be producing an insoluble blue colored product will be formed. Originally, what is XGAL? XGAL is also called as 5-bromo 4-chloro indolyle beta D-galactopyrinoside. So this is otherwise called as in short form XGAL. That means beta-galactosidase break the XGAL to produce a color called blue colored product. When the LAC-Z gene is present inside the plasmid. Therefore, if a foreign gene is entered into LAC-Z, this gene will be inactivated. If there is any foreign gene is introduced into the plasmid, what happens? The LAC-Z is also inserted, but the LAC-Z will not be activated. That means it is inactivated. If it is inactivated, then what happens? They cannot able to produce beta-galactosidase. If they are unable to produce beta-galactosidase, what will happen? They will not produce blue color. That means they will become in white in color. So, if foreign gene is inserted, then what happen? They cannot able to produce blue color. Then what happen? Therefore, the host cell containing rDNA form white color colonies, on the cell containing non-recombinant DNA will develop blue color colonies. On the basis of it, we can able to identify what is recombinant, what are non-recombinant. So recombinant will be producing white color. Then non-recombinant can able to produce blue color, because the blue color is having lag Z. It is also having lag Z, but it is inactivated by what happened? This foreign gene. Do you understand? So from this we can able to understand how the recombinant DNA is present inside the host cell. We can able to identify. This is one of the method of screening for recombinant. Next one we can able to understand about another method is called replica plating techniques. What do you call? Replica plating techniques. What is replica plating techniques? See here. So this is a master plate. In this master plate we can able to produce lot of, the master plate is also called as culture plate. In the culture plate we can able to culture lot of microorganisms. Yet actually the replica plating technique is nothing but taking replica. Replica means to duplicate. So this is a technique in which a pattern of colonies growing on a culture plate is copied. So this is a culture plate. It is a master plate which is having the culture of microorganisms. Then what happens? This should be kept in this is sterile velvet block. This sterile means which is free from microorganism. A sterile filter plate is pressed against this culture plate. This sterile velvet plate is pressed. We have to press over this master plate. Then what happens? The same wherever the colonies of microorganisms are available, that will be visible on this master plate. So the imprint of all colonies will be appear in this what do you call velvet block plate. So now this is called replicate plate, because the replications of this microorganisms or the bacteria are imprint in this replica. This is sterile replica. Now what happened? There are two types of another culture plate have to be prepared. This is one culture plate. This is another culture plate. This culture plate will not having any antibiotics like ampicillin, but this plate is having what do you call? Which is having lot of ampicillin. That means these are having antibiotics. They do not have antibiotics. As well as growth materials are also available here. Growth materials are also not available. Now if you take a print on both the plates, this plate A, this plate is B. The plate A is having antibiotics as well as there is no growth regulators. But this plate B contain antibiotics like ampicillin as well as there is no growth. But here growth regulators are there. Now if you are taking print, the same type of master plate print will be available because there is no ampicillin. So antibiotics will not resist this growth of this culture. But here ampicillin is there, then the growth of culture will not be available. So here some of the growth of culture will be visible. These are recombinant, what do you call? Recombinant DNA material. Why it is called as recombinant DNA material are present in this culture? Because it is already having antisense gene or marker called antibiotic sense genes are also present in the what do you call rDNA or recombinant DNA. So this is called replica plating techniques, a technique in which the pattern of colonies growing on a culture plate is copied. A sterile filter plate, this is sterile filter plate. The sterile filter plate is pressed against the culture plate. Then if you press against the culture plate, then this lifted. Then the filter is pressed against the second sterile culture plate. Now that will be taking replica of sterile culture plate. There is a result in the plate being infected with cell in the same relative position. Wherever the microorganisms are there, that will be infected on this plate. This results a new plate is being infected with a cell in the same relative position of this colonies in the original plate. Original plate, how it is having various types of colonies, same number of colonies will be available in the replica as well. Now that should be reprinted in two media. See, usually the medium used in the second plate will have different from that first plate. It may include antibiotics without growth factor, but it is having without having ampicillin like antibiotics, as well as they are having growth regulator. That is why they can culture completely. But here only a certain number of these recombinant microcolonies will be formed. So these are recombinant colonies, which what are the colonies are not available, they are not recombinant. From this we can able to screen with the help of the replica plating techniques. Then we shall see another technique is called as molecular technique. This is also called as isolation of genetic material and gel electrophoresis. Electro means electrical energy. Electrophoresis means on the basis of we can able to separate the biomolecules into positive and negative charges. So usually this electrophoresis can be used when the biomolecules can be deviated or differentiated into positive and negative charges. So electrophoresis is a separating technique used to separate different biomolecules with positive and negative charges. You might have studied in physics basic principles of applying electrical charges. If you are using direct current, what happens? The molecules migrating according to the type of charges they have. The electrical charges of different molecules are variable, as already you know. You might have studied in physics itself. That means the positive charged cations will move towards the negative charged cathode. Unlike charges are attracted. Hence, positive charged cations will move towards the negative charged cathode. Similarly, negative charged anions will move towards the positive charged anode. This principle is used in gel electrophoresis or isolation genetic material. What is genetic material? Either DNA or RNA. Here the DNA will be isolated by gel electrophoresis. Agarose is a special type of gel electrophoresis can be used here. This gel agarose or agarose gel as electrophoresis, it is used mainly for purification of specific DNA fragments. So in order to purify the DNA fragments, this agarose gel used to be used. This agarose gel is very most convenient for separating DNA fragments because it is ranging from few hundreds to 20,000 base pairs can be easily separated in this method. That is why this is mostly convenient for us. And moreover, in this agarose gel electrophoresis, we are using a specialized chemical called polyacrylamide. Polyacrylamide is preferred for purification of smaller DNA fragments. A smaller DNA fragments very easily we can isolate it or separated or purified with the help of polyacrylamide. That is why we used to select this type of gel. Then the gel is complex network of polymeric molecules. It is a complex material. This agarose gel material is very complex polymolecules. DNA molecules are usually negatively charged molecule. So we can be able to isolate this negatively charged molecule are always moved towards the positive anode. It is a very common concept. Under an electric field, DNA molecules migrate through the gel. The electrophoresis is frequently performed with a marker DNA fragments of known size. For example, the electrophoresis is frequently performed marker DNA fragments of known size which allow accurate size determination. That means the known DNA fragments, if we allowed, we can also understand the unknown DNA molecule interpolation by the interpolation. The advantages of this agarose gel electrophoresis, most important thing is we can able to take the photographs because of, it is autoradiograph because we can stain with a specialized chemical, very important chemical, it is called ethidium bromide. So what happened? These electrophoresis of that DNA bands can be readily detected at high sensitivity because of this autophoradiography. The band of DNA in the gel are stained with a specialized chemical dye called as ethidium bromide. Don't forget it, ethidium bromide, and can be detected as a visible fluorescence illuminated by ultraviolet light. If you lighted with ultraviolet light, This will be easily illuminated with the orange fluorescence, which will appear on the screen with the help of orange fluorescence. We can take photograph, we can take video. So in such a way, we can easily identify about this electro movement. That means this negatively charged DNA molecules are moving towards positive anodes can be easily identified. So this is another method. This is called as molecular technique method or gel electrophoresis method. With the help of, we can able to identify how the DNA is isolated or purified or separated. We can be screened through with the help of this technique. Next, we are going to see about nucleic acid hybridization plotting techniques. What is plotting? Plotting is a technique in which are widely used in analytical tools for specific identification of desired DNA or RNA fragments from the larger number of molecules. Plotting is nothing but it refers to the process of immobilization of sample nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA or solid support material will be taken up into nitrocellulose. For here, the plotting technique is nothing but completely taking immobilized material into a specialized nitrocellulose material. That means we can take a copy. A plotting technique is nothing but taking or transferring a particular material into another thing. So this is called plotting techniques. The plotted technique of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, are then used as target in hybridization experiments for their specific detection. There are three different types of plotting technique. Plotting techniques are there: southern plotting technique, northern plotting technique, and western plotting techniques. There are three different types of plotting techniques are there. They are southern plotting techniques, northern plotting techniques, western plotting techniques. There are three different types. Among them, southern plotting techniques is most important one. The transfer of DNA from agarose gels to nitrocellulose membrane. So here plotting is something but transferring of DNA from agarose cells to nitrocellulose membrane. So this is called plotting. Here in southern plotting techniques, the transfer of DNA from agarose gels to nitrocellulose membrane. What about northern plotting techniques? Transfer of RNA to nitrocellulose membrane. Then what is about western plotting techniques? Western plotting techniques is nothing but electrophoretic transfer of properties of nitrocellulose membrane